the long dormant system suddenly reactivated. This time, it appeared while I was with my wife and child, leaving a family amusement park.
Daddy, can we have KFC for dinner?
All right, our little princess can have whatever she wants.
John, you spoil Emily too much. One day, she'll be completely spoiled by you.
Oh dear, honey, actually, I wanted a burger myself. Emily just voiced it for me.
My wife rolled her eyes at me, and suddenly, a familiar electronic voice sounded in my ear.
Host, long time no see. Do you remember the book mission from 8 years ago?
I was taken aback by the sudden voice.
Your previous mission was successfully completed. If you had stayed in that world, you would have lived a life of luxury, with a wealthy wife and a well-behaved son. Why did you choose to come back?
Well, ever since you left, your previous target's mental state has been deteriorating. She's almost reached a breaking point.
To find you, she has been researching ways to destroy the system. We're worried that if she succeeds, it could be disastrous.
Seeing the happy family of 3, the system hesitated and awkwardly asked.
Could you go back and check on them?
I was stunned by this sudden turn of events. How could I forget that part of my life?
Years ago, while rescuing people from a fire, there was an explosion. After a brief electronic buzzing sound, I was bound to this system. To save me, the system sent me into a novel with a troubled female protagonist, and my mission was to win her over.
I had to help her become the heir of the Lee family and make her give up on the second male lead and marry me. Once I completed the mission, I could choose to stay in that world, as my body in the original world had been severely damaged by the explosion, leaving me with little time to live.
So, I cherished this opportunity.
When Sophia was deceived by a scoundrel, I enlightened her and stayed by her side, comforting her and teaching her to recognize such men.
Gradually, her attitude towards me changed from indifferent and aloof to warm and caring.
One night, after a few drinks, we naturally ended up together, and I accidentally revealed the system's mission to her. I thought she was too drunk to remember.
But it turned out she was only pretending to be drunk to get me to confess.
After helping her become the heir of the Lee family, we got married, and our life together was quite sweet.
A year later, we had a lovely daughter, whom she named Lily, meaning she wanted me to cherish them both for life.
As Lily grew up, her curiosity about the world led her to want to try everything. At an age when she couldn't even reach the chair, she insisted on learning the piano.
Without hesitation, Sophia hired the most famous pianist in the country to be Lily's private tutor.
Indeed, human emotions are not always shared. While I was playing in the mud, she, at an age when she couldn't even control her bladder, was already commanding the renowned pianist James. John cherished the opportunity to be there for Sophia.
I can't believe he deceived me like this, John. How could I have been so blind?
Sophia, it's not your fault. Scoundrels like him are skilled at manipulating people. I'm here for you, and I'll help you see through their lies.
Gradually, Sophia's attitude towards John warmed, and their bond grew stronger. John cherished this opportunity. When Sophia was deceived by a scoundrel, he enlightened her and stayed by her side, comforting her and teaching her to recognize such men.
Sophia, you deserve better. You need to see through these people who only want to take advantage of you.
Gradually, Sophia's attitude towards John changed from indifferent and aloof to warm and caring.
Thank you, John. I don't know what I would have done without you.
One night, after a few drinks, they naturally ended up together, and John accidentally revealed the system's mission to her. He thought she was too drunk to remember.
I have a mission, Sophia, a system that guides me.
But it turned out she was only pretending to be drunk to get him to confess.
So, you have a system, huh? Interesting.
After helping her become the heir of the Lee family, they got married, and their life together was quite sweet.
I'm so happy we're together, Sophia.
Me too, John. Let's build a wonderful life.
A year later, they had a lovely daughter, whom Sophia named Lily, meaning she wanted John to cherish them both for life.
Lily is beautiful. We will cherish her forever.
As Lily grew up, her curiosity about the world led her to want to try everything. At an age when she couldn't even reach the chair, she insisted on learning the piano.
I want to play the piano, Mommy. Of course, dear. We'll hire the best teacher for you.
Without hesitation, Sophia hired the most famous pianist in the country to be Lily's private tutor.
It's amazing how dedicated you are to Lily's education.
It's important. She deserves the best.
Indeed, human emotions are not always shared. While John was playing in the mud, she, at an age when she couldn't even control her bladder, was already commanding the renowned pianist James. After she finished speaking, she left a divorce agreement and looked at me emotionlessly.
The sooner I marry him, the sooner Lily's health will improve. For the sake of our child, please decide quickly.
Sophia, I don't understand.
Watching her leave, I felt a sense of unfamiliarity for the first time.
I've done everything for her in these 8 years.
I confessed everything to her that day.
Sophia, the world you're in is actually a novel. I was sent here by a system to ensure you follow the main storyline of your life.
Did you complete your task? Are you going to leave me now?
Silly, of course not. I will never leave you.
At that time, she was all I could see.
I love you, John. I don't want you to be punished by the system for my sake.
Thinking back now, I laughed at myself.
System, I want to go back.
Why, host? If you leave, the original character in the novel will be erased. Are you sure?
I hesitated.
I can't bear to leave.
I went downstairs to my daughter's room to see her one last time, only to find her video calling with James.
Uncle Mark, I'll soon make you my dad.
Our little Lily is amazing.
I returned to the living room.
Have you signed the agreement?
Yes, but I won't leave with nothing.
I communicated with the system in my mind.
Do it now. Erase me immediately.
I suddenly collapsed in front of Sophia, not even having the chance to place the contract steadily on the table. This contract had been revised by a lawyer, ensuring that half of the assets would be allocated to me as compensation for the past few years. I also instructed the lawyer to donate all my assets to the local orphanage and animal rescue center.
Such a large sum of money seems wasted. System, can't you upgrade the server a bit?
I'll report your suggestion to the higher-ups, but I can't guarantee they'll accept it.
By the way, if I return to my original world, where will I end up?
John, your mission in this novel is complete. Your reward is to continue living in this world with this identity, but since you declined the reward, you'll return to the moment of the explosion at the fire scene. Whether you survive or not, I can't say.
What? Dying once here and then immediately facing death again upon return. This is too much. No way, we're buddies. You can't just leave me to die. Help me out, please, system.
There is a way, but
But what? Just tell me already.
it will cost me my points.
Points can be earned again, but if I'm gone, who will complete the missions for you? Right?
That's easy for you to say. You have no idea how long it took me to save those points. I was planning to use them to upgrade my wife's program.
Fine, we're buddies. Considering you've been through so much, I'll help you out.
I'll give you a safety shield. You'll be fine during the explosion, but remember to give me a 5-star rating afterward.
Sure, I'll give you a 10-star rating. If you ever need me again, just let me know.
With that, I returned to the real world. The explosion happened right beside me, sparks flying everywhere, but with the safety shield, it felt like a dream. Despite the shield, the impact knocked me out.
John.
When I opened my eyes, I saw my old teammates, all crying and holding me.
I'm not dead yet. Why are you crying?
I thought I'd never see you again, Captain.
Hey, don't come any closer. Don't wipe your snot on me.
I cherished this opportunity to be close to Sophia. When she was deceived by a scoundrel, I enlightened her and stayed by her side.
Why do men always lie and deceive?
Not all men are like that, Sophia. You just need to recognize the right ones. I'm here for you.
Gradually, her attitude towards me changed. One night, after a few drinks, we naturally ended up together.
You know, John, you're different from anyone I've ever met.
I'm glad you think so. There's something I need to tell you.
I accidentally revealed the system's mission to her. I thought she was too drunk to remember, but she was only pretending.
So, you've been sent here on a mission? Interesting.
After helping her become the heir of the Lee family, we got married. Our life was quite sweet.
John, we have a daughter now. Let's name her Lily.
Lily! I love it! I'll cherish both of you forever.
As Lily grew up, her curiosity led her to try everything. Sophia hired the most famous pianist in the country for her.
Lily, meet Mr. James. He will teach you how to play the piano.
Hello, Lily. Let's make beautiful music together.
While I was playing in the mud, Lily was already commanding the renowned pianist. He continued to present an innocent demeanor.
Sophia, I don't understand what you're saying. What does John's passing have to do with me? He died of cardiac arrest, and I wasn't the one who caused it. Sophia, I know you're in pain because of John's departure, but everyone has their fate. Maybe his time had come. What you need to do now is move forward with me. Trust me, I will bring you happiness.
However, Sophia no longer believed his words and immediately called her men to lock him in the basement. After some torment, James finally confessed the truth. He was actually Robert, the scoundrel who had previously deceived Sophia for money and affection.
How could you do this to me again?
No wonder he seemed familiar when I first met him, though I couldn't pinpoint why.
Please, Sophia, I was only following the system's rules.
It turned out he was also a system player, but his task was merely to ruin Sophia's first love and help her grow emotionally.
I didn't mean to hurt you this much.
You not only deceived my feelings but also saw me as a naive, wealthy woman, and decided to swindle me out of my money and then disappear.
As punishment for not following the system's rules, he developed a gambling addiction and lost the $50 billion he had taken from Sophia within a year, along with borrowing $80 million in high-interest loans.
I had no choice. The debt, the interest, I couldn't repay it.
With the interest piling up and unable to repay the debt, he resorted to desperate measures. He underwent plastic surgery and returned to Sophia, using the same tactics to deceive her once again.
You won't get away this time.
Sophia extracted all the information he knew about the system from him. After being betrayed twice by the same man and feeling responsible for my demise due to her insincerity, she seemed to be turning to the dark side.
I regret not believing what you told me.
Robert was confined in a dark basement, enduring endless torment. Whenever he was on the brink of death, she would call a doctor to revive him.
Please make it stop.
He had had enough of her torture and applied to the system for release, but due to his previous actions, release was not an option for him. His only fate was to wait until Sophia grew tired of him, which would lead to his end.
I'm not letting you off so easily.
Sophia was also deceiving herself. If she didn't believe in the system I mentioned, why would she follow Robert's instructions to teach Lily and force me to divorce her? My life gradually returned to normal. After leaving the hospital, I started a new life like any other person. I met someone who loved me, and we had a child together. The system hadn't appeared since I left, until today, when it spoke urgently.
It's mainly Sophia. She's been working on a device to connect the real world with the alternate world and keeps saying she wants to destroy the system.
Her power has grown significantly. The things she's having the lab create seem quite formidable. We're really afraid she'll become a supervillain and break free from our control. If that happens, everything will be over.
So, host, can you go back and stay with her for a month?
No refusal.
I used my private stash to save your life back then.
One evening, John and Sophia were sitting on the porch, watching the sunset. The atmosphere was calm, yet heavy with unspoken words.
John, do you remember when we first met?
Of course, how could I forget? You were so strong and independent, yet so vulnerable inside.
You were the only one who saw through me. I didn't realize how much I needed you until you were gone.
Sophia, I never wanted to hurt you. Leaving was the hardest decision I ever made.
I know. But it doesn't change the fact that it left a void.
As they sat there, John's thoughts drifted to the present. He needed to ensure Sophia and Lily were content before he could find peace himself.
Sophia, let's focus on the future. Lily's growing up, and she needs both of us. Let's make sure she sees the love we have for her.
You're right. For Lily's sake, we need to move forward.
Just then, Lily came running out onto the porch.
Daddy, Mommy, come see what I made.
What is it, sweetheart?
I drew a picture of our family. All of us together, happy.
It's beautiful, Lily. Just like our family.
One day, a conflict arose between Lily and Emily.
That's nonsense. He's my dad, not yours.
Emily pushed Lily, causing her to fall to the ground. I stepped in and helped Lily up, who was holding back her tears.
Serious, Emily, she's your sister. You can't talk to her like that, understand?
Sister? But Mom only has one child, and that's me.
Suddenly, Sophia came downstairs, her anger evident.
What's all this noise? All you do is argue and cry. Are you useless, Lily?
But when she saw me, her anger turned to joy, and she rushed to my side, wrapping her arms around my neck.
John, is it really you? Am I dreaming?
Serious, the children are here, don't do this.
She noticed the little girl beside me.
Curious, who is she?
Cold, she's my daughter, Emily.
Hearing this, Sophia went mad.
So you left me because of this child? There was never any system you talked about. You just made it up to deceive me and be with those two women, didn't you? Men are all the same, untrustworthy.
She lunged at Emily, but I quickly picked Emily up before she could reach her. Emily was already crying in fear, but Lily seemed accustomed to such scenes.
Calm, Dr. Johnson, Mom seems to be having another episode. Can you come over?
Within seconds, the family doctor appeared with a large syringe. He swiftly injected Sophia in the arm, and she soon fell unconscious in his arms. He saw me and was momentarily surprised but quickly regained his composure.
Mr. John, please help me.
While Sophia was sedated, Dr. Johnson told me about the time I was gone.
Sophia had been searching for you frantically, investing all her savings into research, believing that if you could come here, she could find a way out. She became increasingly obsessive and unstable, blaming Lily for your departure. Whenever Lily cried, Sophia would lock her in the basement, growing more distant from her.
Hearing this, I felt immense guilt for Lily. My impulsive decision to leave Sophia for revenge had caused Lily so much suffering. No wonder she held back her tears earlier. When the sedative wore off, Sophia woke up to find me by her side. Her tone softened.
Hopeful, John, is there no way back?
Serious, there's no way back.
I saw tears welling up in her eyes. After that, she threw herself into her research, determined to find a way to connect different worlds. During this time, Sophia didn't seek me out, but Lily came to me almost every day, asking me to take her to school. Days passed like this.
Cheerful, Dad, Mom's birthday is coming up. How are we going to celebrate?
I cherished this opportunity deeply. When Sophia was misled by a deceitful man, I guided her and stayed by her side, comforting her and teaching her to recognize such men.
Thank you for staying with me, John. I don't know what I'd do without you.
You're stronger than you think, Sophia. You'll see.
Gradually, her attitude towards me changed from indifferent and aloof to warm and caring. One night, after a few drinks, we naturally ended up together. I accidentally revealed the system's mission to her, thinking she was too drunk to remember.
John, were you serious about what you said about the system?
You remember that?
I was pretending to be drunk. I needed to know.
After helping her become the heir of the Lee family, we got married, and our life together was quite sweet.
Sophia, our life is perfect, isn't it?
Yes, and now with Lily, it's even better.
A year later, we had a lovely daughter, whom she named Lily, meaning she wanted me to cherish them both for life.
She's going to do great things, John. I can feel it.
As Lily grew up, her curiosity about the world led her to want to try everything.
Mom, Dad, I want to learn the piano.
Without hesitation, I'll hire the best pianist for you, Lily.
Indeed, human emotions are not always shared. While I was playing in the mud, she, at an age when she couldn't even control her bladder, was already commanding the renowned pianist James.
Let's change it, Sophia.
Suddenly, she became hysterical, completely different from her earlier self.
I only want you to stay. That's my only wish.
Sophia, calm down. We can talk about this.
If I can't leave, then you can't go back either. You will always be mine.
She pointed at Emily, her eyes filled with jealousy.
They've already had you for so long. Do they want to keep you forever? Why should they?
The last 3 words were almost screamed out with all her strength. I was afraid Emily would be scared by her crazed appearance and wanted to protect her behind me, but she clenched her little fists and jumped out.
Mom didn't take Dad away. Dad was always Mom's. You didn't want Dad, so Mom saved him.
Sophia suddenly ran towards me. I thought she was going to hurt Emily, so I shielded her with my hand. Instead, she forcefully tore the bracelet from my wrist. Her expression was aggrieved, but she kept retreating until she reached the window, extending her hand as if she was about to destroy the bracelet.
Sophia, please don't do this!
I know you use this to communicate with the other world. I heard everything you and that brat said that day. Throwing me a birthday party was just a cover. You just didn't want me to continue researching the way to cross over.
Sophia, you're misunderstanding. Please, let's talk.
Liars, all of you. I'm going to destroy it now. Let's see how you go back to that woman.
Her actions scared me into frantically calling the system.
Help! Help! This is a matter of life and death!
I was wondering if I would be trapped in this place because of a failed birthday task. Although there was wealth and leisure here, there was also the crazy Sophia. I didn't want to stay here for another second. But the system remained unresponsive. I checked the time, there were only a few minutes left until the 30 days were up. At this moment, little Lily, who had been silent, forced a smile at me.
Dad, I will always love you.
She seemed to be saying something, but I couldn't hear clearly. The next second, she rushed towards her mother, snatching the bracelet from her hand and then jumping off the building with Sophia.
No!
When I came to my senses, only Emily and I were left in the room. I collapsed to the ground, crying helplessly, but then I felt a warm and familiar presence behind me. I turned around and saw Olivia. She hugged me.
Let's go home.
The system, which had been silent, suddenly spoke up.
Sorry, John. I sensed a huge fluctuation in the values here just now. Seeing that it was almost a month, I immediately contacted your wife, fearing you might be in danger.
Sophia and Lily are gone.
I had promised her that if anything went wrong, I would send her in too.
I looked at Olivia and burst into tears.
Lily rushed over to save Emily and me, pushing Sophia off the building, and she jumped down with her. System, is there any way to save them?
I'm sorry, John. They were characters in the book world, and their development had long deviated from the original story. There's nothing I can do. Please accept my condolences.
Only now did I recall, at the moment Lily smiled at me, she seemed to say,
Dad, I will always love you.